Okay, good morning, ma'am. Welcome to today radar system class. In today's class, I will explain the concept called multiple frequency continuous wave radar. Right? In your throughout your second unit, you have already learned about only continuous wave radar. Right? In a continuous wave radar, we have two types. First one is continuous wave Doppler radar, and another one is this is also called as an unmodulated continuous wave radar, and the second one is frequency modulated continuous wave radar, right? So first of all, we learned the design of a continuous wave Doppler radar, which is also called as continuous wave Doppler unmodulated continuous wave radar, right? So while observing the performance analysis of this continuous wave Doppler radar, we identified mainly three drawbacks, right? What are those three drawbacks? Flicker noise introduction, and another one is lack of isolation between the transmitter and receiver, and the third one is range information about the moving target is not provided. Only the speed of moving target is provided by using the basic continuous wave Doppler radar, right? So, in order to overcome these limitations offered by basic continuous wave Doppler radar, we are moving to the next design. What is our next design? Where in this basic continuous wave Doppler radar, zero IF is used. That means no IF frequencies are used, right? So whereas coming to next design, we are using non-zero IF receiver. That means we are using some intermediate frequency in that continuous wave radar design, right? So see here. So with a basic continuous wave Doppler radar, we have the three limitations. Among these three limitations, two limitations are avoided by using continuous wave radar with non-zero IF receiver. By using an IF frequencies in the continuous wave radar receiver, flicker noise is avoided, and by employing two separate antennas for both the transmission and reception purposes, isolation is provided between the transmitter and receiver, right? But the third limitation, which is about range information of the moving target, is not facilitated by using, even though using a continuous wave radar with non-zero IF receiver. That is the matter, that right? So in order to measure the range information and in order to extend the range ability, we are moving to the next design, that is frequency modulated continuous wave radar, right? So how we are measuring the range information, how we are calculating the range information by using FMCW radar means by using the frequency deviation. As the name itself it indicates. What do you mean by a frequency modulation? Change in frequency with respect to instantaneous amplitude of the message signal. Transmitted carrier change in frequency with respect to the instantaneous amplitude of the message signal, right? That means there is a change in frequency. The change in frequency is nothing but beat frequency or the deviation in the frequency, the left, right? We already learned in our analog communications, right? So now by using the del-f, how we are calculating the range is already proven in last classes, right? So up to now, I think you are clear with the concept. Now, the new concept here called multiple frequency continuous wave radar is nothing but, so by using continuous wave radars, in order to calculate the range information of the moving target, one method is using frequency modulated continuous wave radar, right? Other method is here by using multiple frequency continuous wave radar also. By using, I repeat the line, by using multiple frequency continuous wave radar also, we can able to measure the range information, right? We can able to measure the range information. Okay. So Seema, so here we are using multiple frequencies in a continuous wave radar. By using that multiple frequencies, we can able to measure the range information, right? Actually, that was the title of this topic, right? So see here, how we now I'm going to explain how we are measuring range of a moving target by using a multiple frequencies, right? So see here, actually, these are the lines what I already explained. The continuous wave radar cannot measure the range, and it is possible by measuring the phase of the echo signal relative to the phase of the transmitted signal, right? That means they are transmitting more than one frequency by using this continuous wave radar, right, in order to measure the range. So by transmitting more than one frequency, and they observed the relative phase difference between the two signals, and by using that phase difference, they can able to measure the range of the moving target, right? Seema, here only the difference is here the phase modulation, in the last class that is the frequency modulation, right? In our radar subject, base concepts are very easy concepts, right? Based on the base concepts, we have to analyze the subject, right? So here, only the concept is by using a basic continuous wave Doppler radar design, range of the moving targets is not able to calculated, right? So in order to calculate the range of the moving target, we have two methods. Till now, we discussed only one method, that is frequency modulated continuous wave radar, right? So how we are measuring range of a moving target, which is not possible in a basic continuous wave Doppler radar, is how we are calculating means by using the frequency deviation. I already shown the derivation, right? By using frequency deviation, how we are going to measure the that range information of the moving target, right? Now, in today's class, I'm going to explain another method which is used to find out the range information of the moving target. How this method able to find out the range information of the moving target means here design is same. Design is again same, the basic continuous wave Doppler radar, right? But here, instead of using a single frequency, multiple frequencies are used in order to find out the range information. So what they are doing by sending multiple frequencies, and they are comparing in a phase detector. That means if they are sending two signals, right? They observe the phase difference between the two signals. By using that phase difference, also they can able to measure the range information of the moving targets, right? So that is explained here. So see here, if you consider a continuous wave radar radiating a single frequency sine wave or same sine wave in the form sine 2 pi f naught t, right? So in analytical way, in analytical form, consider a sine 2 pi f naught t wave is transmitted by using a continuous wave radar, right? So now the signal takes a time capital T to reach the target and return back to the radar system, right? That the T is given as T is equals to 2R by C, right? So see here, ma'am, by using a continuous wave radar, the signal sine 2 pi f naught t is generated, right? Now, the signal takes a time of t to travel from radar system to target, moving target, and from the moving target to radar system, right? Now, the time t is given as t is equals to 2R by c. We already know that where range R is equals to Ct by 2. From this we can derive T is equals to 2R by C, right? So if the transmitted and received signals are compared in phase detector by employing a phase detector block in a basic continuous wave radar design, we can compare phase of the two signals, phase of the two transmitted signals. As the name itself it indicates, the multiple frequency continuous wave radar. So here we can easily compare the phase of two signals, and the output is proportional to the phase difference between the two signals, right? The transmitted signal phase output. So if you compare the transmitted and received signals in a phase detector, then the output is proportional to the phase difference between the two signals, right? So the principle used in multiple frequency CW radar is the measurement of range by computing the phase difference. The measurement of range is done by computing the phase difference, right? I think now you got the point. A measurement of range or of stationary target by employing a continuous wave radar transmitting sine 2 pi. Like that means here we are proving how we are going to measure the range information of the moving target by using a phase deviation. In a previous case, by using the frequency deviation del f, we can able to measure the range information of the moving target. I already explained the derivation, right? Small derivation which proves how we able to calculate the range information of the moving target by using the frequency deviation, right? Now, this is a small derivation to prove we can able to calculate the range information by using the phase deviation, right? So here the phase deviation, the output given by the phase detector, right? So that phase deviation, if you assume that phase as del phi is equals to 2 pi ft, right? Where uh, where we know that t is the time taken for the radar signal to travel from radar system to moving target and from the moving target to radar system, and the t is given as 2 r by c, right? So del phi is equals to 2 pi f of, in a place of t substitute the value of t. The time taken for the signal is 2 r by c, right? Now it becomes del phi is equals to 4 pi f4 by c, right? Now bring r, then r equal to c delta phi by 4 pi f, right? So now it becomes lambda delta phi by 4 pi, right? So what it proves and what it indicates by using the del phi, that is the phase deviation, we can easily calculate the range information of the moving target. So, and whereas coming to the block diagram details of this multiple frequency continuous wave radar, it is similar to the basic continuous wave radar, continuous wave Doppler radar design, but only the difference is we need to use one more channel and the phase detector to compare the phase information of these phase info to compare the phase information of the transmitted signals, right? The better accuracy in range measurement may be provided by the large frequency difference between the two transmitted signals. Therefore, 3 or 4 frequencies. So, what they are explained is the better accuracy is obtained by transmitting 3 or 4 frequencies and comparing phase difference in between those transmitted 3 or 4 frequencies, right? Actually, that was the concept. And see here. See, if you consider the two voltage waveforms are transmitted, right? So, and those waveforms are having the frequencies F1 and F2. I think my voice is audible, ma. If it is in low voice or it is in low range, please let me know. Okay, the transmitted waveforms is assumed to consist of two continuous sine waves of frequencies F1 and F2 and separated by an amount of frequency difference del f, right? So the voltage waveforms of the two components of the transmitted signals are V1R and V2R. We know that voltage is indicated, the voltage V1 with a voltage V2. The relative here we are talking with respect to moving targets. That's why we are expressing these are with relative velocities V1R, V2R. Right now that V1R is given as sine 2 pi f1t plus phi 1, where phi 1 is the phase of the first transmitted signal, right? On whole, only the concept about this multiple frequency CW radar is here. Here the basic design is the base continuous wave Doppler radar only, right? Only the modification in the design is we are using separate channel and phase detector to compare the phases of the transmitted signal, because we are measuring the range information of a moving target by using only the phase difference, right? How it performs the task means by transmitting a multiple frequencies towards the moving target, right, and receives the returned echoes from the moving target, multiple echoes from the Here the concept observed, multiple frequencies are transmitted towards the moving target and multiple echoes are received from the moving target. Now it compares the phase detector, which includes in the base continuous wave Doppler radar, that compares the phase difference between the transmitted signals and received echo signals. So by using that phase difference, that is phase deviation del phi, which is denoted with del phi, that by using the del phi, we are measuring the range information. How, ma'am? How it possible by using this small derivation proves how it provides the range information. Del phi provides the range information, right? So see here, consider the two waveforms which consist of the frequency information, time information and phase information. Now the relative velocity of first voltage waveform V1R is equal to sine of 2 pi f1t plus phi 1 and V2R is equal to sine of 2 pi f2t plus phi 2, where phi 1 is the phase information of the first signal and phi 2 is the phase information of the second signal, right? So the echo signal is shifted in frequency by the Doppler effect, right? We know that we are measuring with moving targets. We are dealing with moving targets, right? Don't forget the base concept. We are moving with moving targets, right? So whenever a transmitted signal, we know the basic concept of a Doppler effect. That is, whenever the transmitted signal hits the moving target, obviously there is a shift in frequency. That shift in frequency is called as Doppler shift. And the phenomena is called as Doppler phenomena. Now we are assuming the two signals which are having the frequencies of F1 and F2 and phase of the signals are phi 1 and phi 2. Now these signals are transmitted towards the moving target, right? Now whenever these signals hit by the moving target, there is a shift in frequency due to the Doppler effect phenomena, right? Are you agree with this, right? So where phi 1 and phi 2 are the arbitrary phase angles, right? Now, the echo signal is shifted in frequency by the Doppler effect. The form of the Doppler shifted signals corresponding to F1 and F2. So now see the Doppler. Now see. So we already transmitted the. I think it is visible now. So see here. So actually in the previous slide I already shown that V1R and V2 are transmitted, and where V1R is sine 2 pi f1 of t plus phi 1 and sine 2 pi f2 of t plus phi 2, right? So now this is indicated, see here, sine of 2 pi f1 whenever the signal hits the moving target, there is a shift in frequency. That shift is plus or minus fd. In which case it is plus fd. Whenever the moving target approaches the radar system, it becomes sine of 2 pi f1 plus fd, right? Whenever it it moves away from the radar system, it is f1 minus fd, right? But we don't know the exact condition. That's why here we are mentioning it as a sine of 2 pi f1 plus or minus fd1t minus 4 pi f1 or naught by c plus phi 1, right? And v2r is equals to in the same sine of 2 pi f2 plus or minus d1. fd1 is the Doppler shift 1 and fd2 is the Doppler shift 2 t minus this is the time factor, right? 4 pi f2 or naught by c. Plus phi 2, right? So see here where R naught is the range to the target, range to a target at a particular time, and T is equals to T naught, range that would be measured if target was not moving. And FD1 is the Doppler frequency shift. FD1 is the Doppler frequency shift associated with the frequency F1, and FD2 is the Doppler frequency shift associated with the frequency F2, right? Since the two RF frequencies F1 and F2 are approximately same, that is F2 is equals to F1 plus delta F, where del F is like that. That means here nothing much. they want to see here. Just they want to explain to you how the Doppler shift is taken place and how they are comparing the phases of the two signals and how they are uh, measuring the range information, right? So now the actually Seema, the concept is these signals are transmitted, right? V1 r is equals to sine of 2 pi f1d plus phi 1 and V2 r is equals to sine of 2 pi f2t plus phi 2. These are transmitted towards the moving target, right? Now, when these are hit by the moving target, the return echo is like this. In this, we are including the Doppler shift f1 plus or minus fv1 and f2 plus or minus fg2, and this gives some range information, right? Now, these are what are these, ma? These are the received echoes, right? Now these received echoes are given to a receiver. Now we will see what the receiver function, what it do, right? Now the receiver separates the two components of an echo signal and heterodynes and the received components with a corresponding transmitted waveform that extracts the Doppler frequencies components given below, right? So receiver considers this information, processes that information, and compares that information, and the phase difference between the two components is calculated by using the phase detector like this: 4 pi of f2 minus f1 into r0 by c, that is equals to 4 pi del f r0 by c, where r0 is equals to again the c delta pi by 4 pi delta f, which is nothing but what I already shown, shown in the last slide, right? So it's nothing but, sorry, wait a second. Nothing but they are proving by using the phase difference, we can able to calculate the range information of the moving target, right? So it's a very simple concept. Don't confuse here. While you are attempting this question in your exam point of view, these are the points you need to cover. First of all, you need to mention the drawbacks of continuous wave Doppler radar, which is the basic design and the first design in a continuous wave radar, right? So coming to the drawbacks, three drawbacks we are that means the continuous wave Doppler radar is having. Coming to those three drawbacks, first one is lack of an isolation between the transmitter and receiver, and the second one is introduction of flicker noise due to no, due to lower frequencies, because the flicker noise force vector density is proportional to 1 by f. That means the flicker noise is proportional to inversely proportional to frequency. So that was the second drawback. And third one is by using the basic continuous wave Doppler radar design, the range information of the moving target is not provided. Only the speed of the moving target is measured, right? So these are the topics and these are the limitations offered by the basic continuous wave Doppler radar design. Now the question, you need to avoid those limitations in further design. So what is the next design? Continuous wave Doppler radar with non-zero IF receiver. So in that design, you are using separate transmitting antenna and receiving antenna, whereas in basic design, you are using only a single antenna, that is reflector as a transmitter and receiver, right? So by accommodating two different antennas for the transmitting and receiving purposes in continuous wave radar with non-zero IF receiver, you can easily provide an isolation between the transmitter and receiver, right? With that limitation is avoided. And coming to the second flicker noise, so by using an intermediate frequency generation in the continuous wave radar receiver, you can easily avoid the flicker noise up to some extent, not completely. So as frequency, as the flicker noise is inversely proportional to the frequency of operation. That's the second thing, right? Whereas coming to the third point, range information is not provided. Even though by using a single continuous wave radar with non-zero IF receiver, it is not possible to provide the range information, right? So for that, we are moving to the frequency modulated continuous wave radar, right? What is the main aim of frequency modulated continuous wave radar? It should provide range information of the moving target, because for all other things are provided in a basic continuous wave radar design, right? So in order to provide the range information of the moving target in a continuous wave radar, they are using the frequency difference, that is called as frequency deviation. So by using the frequency deviation, they can easily calculate the range information, right? That was one way. And coming to the other way, by using multiple frequency transmission also, we can able to calculate the range information of the moving targets in a continuous wave radar. How it is possible means, the concept is called as multiple frequency continuous wave radar. How it is possible means, that is proven here, right? So here only the concept is multiple frequencies are generated by a continuous wave radar, and those are transmitted towards the moving target, and multiple echoes are received from that moving target, right? And now by comparing the phases of those echoes, that by using the phase deviation, we can able to calculate the that information. We can able to calculate that range information of the moving target, right? So for that, it is by using the small part of derivation, we can prove that by using a phase difference, we can easily calculate the range information, right? And this part explains you. These are the two waveforms. In this case, multiple frequencies. In this case, we have considered two frequencies which are having voltages of V1R and V2R, and frequencies of F1 and F2 are transmitted towards the moving target, and received echoes are expected with a Doppler shift, right? Because we know that the concept, whenever the transmitter with frequency hits the moving target, obviously there is a shift in transmitted frequency, right? That shift is indicated here, F1 plus or minus F3, F2 plus or minus FD with some range information, right? So that was shown in the next slide. So see here, if you observe, these are the shifted in frequencies. Now this is the actually received information at the continuous wave radar receiver, right? Now this received information is processed, and the phase difference between these two signals are calculated. And now by using the phase difference as shown, like here, you can substitute the phase difference here, and you can easily measure the range value. So I think now you are clear how we are calculating the range information by using multiple frequency continuous wave radar, right? So I think you got the concept, ma. So what is the main drawback with the base continuous wave Doppler radar design means range information is not provided. That was provided by using frequency modulated continuous wave radar and multiple frequency continuous wave radar, right? In a frequency modulated continuous wave radar, by using the frequency deviation, we are measuring the range. But whereas coming to multiple frequency continuous wave radar, by using the phase difference between the different frequencies, we can easily measure the range information of the moving target, right? With this, your second unit is completed. With this, I conclude today's class.